Hey guys, a little update about the clarity of the Tropheus tank. No, it's not the point, even if it's quite impressive, I would say. No, this time, one more time, this is about the Discus, but this is to present you a little bit more in detail two new fishes that we brought back from France last weekend. So, I can try to give you an overview if they are compliant, and this is not necessarily the case because they already fed, so they are not asking for some food. This is some, in theory, this is wild for sure, but in theory this is some young, wild, round, red. Alors Ika, to me, not so sure. The central bar is not as highlighted as it can be on other adults that I saw this weekend, last weekend. But the coloration, as you can see, is already a very nice one. And this is relatively the same, I would say, that the rest of the group. And this is a good idea. Somebody would like also to be filmed, of course. So they are breeding. This is female wild here, a big mama. I don't know if you can see compared to my hand, but the point of today's video, this is in fact the new ones trying to surf under the driftwood. So the one behind, okay, the one in front of us, it was the second one that I picked, and I picked him, okay, because of the coloration, as you can see, is very nice. The red eyes, the form is not so bad, and this is a quite high form, tall. The first that I picked, behind, the central bar is even nicer, I find, and the shape is really round. Red eyes as well, and a slightly nicer shape, I find, compared to the second one, the one in front of you. So, where did I find it? And this is located in France, in Paris. This is Planète Discus, and the owner, breeder, importer is Philippe Huynh. Sorry for the pronunciation, maybe not correct. I spent it was during the return from Bretagne to Germany, and luckily we could make it. A little pause, planned at the beginning 1 hour, and of course you can imagine 2 hours after that we arrived, we were still looking at the fishes and making the selection and exchanging a lot of data. Philippe is very nice, a calm guy, knowledgeable for sure, and sharing a lot, and something that I really appreciate. Some of the breeders, they two strategies: they hide and keep secret some of the sauce recipient, I would say. And it's not necessarily good. And some other guy are just knowing everything and telling you what to do and what not to do. And the exchange is quite limited because I think that they get much more than they could get from you. So this time it was cool. So the trip is, as you can see here, the Bretagne on the left of France, and we are on the south here in Germany. So in the middle, in Paris, accessible or not so complicated, because in Paris it can be way more complicated. You see, this is the south of Paris, so we were driving just a few kilometers away of the main road, and here you can find Planète Discus. You have some picture already on Google Map. Some of them are my ones that I added since them. So it's 2 rooms, one for the hybrids, one for the wild, because he started again the importation of some fish, and this is the point why I stopped by, because I saw some beautiful fish on the different video. For example, on the Facebook page, there's no website yet, but when you see such kind of video here, and this is really in Paris, so you have to pause by a little bit and have a look. Some of them are in fact special order for a lucky owner and with a budget allocated to it, I would say, because here this is not the basic price. I would say they are all have been selected big adult fishes, and such kind of fish can cost more than 1,000 euro per fish, for example. And if we have a look on the picture that I took, for example, maybe here you can see it on the bottom, maybe. So here one of them are very exceptional as well, I would say. But you don't mistake, this guy is a white one, beautiful one, and you have to put the budget to get such kind of fish. If I can zoom, no, I can zoom. But Philippe also get access to a special breed, a new breed in Asia, wild-like. So it's named Radica, like the white one, because he had some of the parameter of it. But this is purely bred, and this is nicely bred in the way that to do select such kind of genetics and phenotypes, it's not so bad at all. And he is one of the first, I guess, in Europe to get access to this adult, and that he's trying to breed as well. And he has also some juvenile right now, or maybe later on. So you see a lot of, this is the pictures that I took. It was nearly a little bit complicated, Philippe, me in front of the tank, for example. And this was the adult that, in fact, has been selected on requirement. So you have some beauty, clearly. And I decided, he offered me to take some adult or some young. The price depends on the size of the fish, 30 centimeters, 15 centimeters. And I decided that this time I will give a try to two young, 13 centimeters, that I pay 180 euro per fish. I don't mind to share it with you. This is a kind of budget. Bon, compared to the other one coming from Santarem Discus Plus, it's relative budget friendly, I would say, and the quality is until now seems to be really good. Fish are behaving good. They have been transported. This is also a question in what do you transport such kind of fish. Usually this is a white box, isotherm box. But in fact, for driving with the fish with the temperature that you have in the car, you don't need a box, especially for two fish. So I travel with this. This is where you buy your frozen food for human, not for fish. You have also here isolation, thermic isolation paper. Each fish, it was 3 layers of bag, you see. And in the middle, we even have some paper here to improve again the isolation of each separated fish. So as simple as you can do your shopping, you can bring back some fish from Paris. So it's a bit far away, and it has to be you have to be really motivated to go over there just for this fish, or to be lucky or optimize transportation that is already otherwise planned for holidays, typically. After that, you do your water acclimatation, for the fish acclimatation to the water of the tank. Slowly but surely, temperature and chemistry need to be aligned, but it was fine, not a big deal. The more complicated aspect, this is in fact how to put two, let's say, teenagers in the middle of a group of adults, and especially when you have some of them like this one and this one. So if you don't believe me, I can show you. Some of them are breeding, meaning defending a territory around the eggs, you see? Nice. Female, male over there. Here, this is the rest of the troop. And in fact, I was wondering if they would be aggressive. Not at all. So they push them in one side of the tank, of course. But it wasn't aggressivity to kill the fish. In fact, they did adopt them in the group quite nicely, or I would say until now. Just to finish, I can see a difference of behavior or timidity or character of the fish. For example, the first one that I picked, even if he's a little bit scared here with all the strips that you can see on the body, this guy is more curious and did understand quite quickly that I am the feeder, automate feeder or manual feeder. And this guy is a little bit more shy, I would say. It does come, but wait that the other fish do something with the food before maybe to take a little piece of the frozen food. For the dry food, I haven't seen yet if they are eating as well, but when you check the shape of the fish, you see both of them until now are nice. The last also questions that you can ask yourself when you are mixing such different group of fishes, wide or not wide, but especially when it is wide, they are not coming from the same area necessary or probably, meaning that they will carry probably different parasites and maybe disease. And it's always a little bit stressful for you, more than for the fish, I would say, to see if one of them won't react badly to one of the new germs imported in the system, in the tank. I don't have any quarantine tank, as you can see. You can tell me that this is a stupid thing and a strategy. Yes and no. Because of such kind of fish, I prefer, in fact, if there is something to correct, I prefer to deal with the complete setup, the complete tank. This is 500 liter. It's a quite big tank, but it's not enormous, like more than 1000. So when you use medicine, it's still manageable, I would say. So I don't know if I can share. No, you don't see so much. Yeah, they don't like that I disturb them. So that's all for this time. Quite happy. Thanks, Philippe, for the contact, the exchange, the information, the setup in the two rooms that I saw is a very clean setup. He's using the same alu profile system as we are doing here. Each tank has its own sump system, and the water quality is quite good. The water in appearance, I haven't tested it, the water. He's monitoring temperature, of course, pH and conductivity. And I guess this is the biomass which is telling you that the tank and the system is running properly. So feel free to contact him on Facebook, for example. Webpage could come maybe later. Ask him any question. I know because, for example, when I was there, that I met some other fish keepers already with some hybrids and wondering if they would jump with the wild. Wild are costing more than hybrids. It depends which hybrids, but in general, the entry ticket for the wild, this is minimum 150. And 150, you have a small fish or not so healthy one, but this is more in the 200, and this is a big ticket. So you can find some very expensive hybrids as well, but in general, the wild are costing a little bit more. Does it mean that after that it will be stable without any issue or whatsoever? Yes and no. In the wild, they have been already selected. If something was wrong, then they should have been filtered, I would say. But they have been selected by the wild conditions. And this is certainly not your water condition, especially if you are mixing them with some other hybrids. They never met necessarily all the different kind of parasites and diseases. So the immune system won't be able to manage it. And vice versa, for your hybrids, the wild are capable to bring and to carry some very bad thing that you may lose your hybrids. So it's a little bit complicated. You have to dare, but it is totally manageable. And certainly you will learn a lot of this experience. If it's better to take some white fish or to take some bred fish or hybrids, this is another question and another video. This one is already starting to be very long. I'm sorry about it. Guys, I hope nevertheless that maybe it could bring you something. If you are in France, one more time, feel free to step by in Paris at Philippe Place. You will see the setup, you will see the fish. He just received some new fish. Huh? If you check here, you can see that he's not doing just some discus, but doing some other kind of fish. Yep. And importation, if you are fine with that, then you will certainly get some very nice specimen at this place. And Paris is quite central in France, so let's take advantages of this location. So that's all for today, guys. I hope everything is going fine at your place. Ciao!